Experts warn that Earth is currently enduring the most severe crisis in recorded history. With each passing year, global temperatures climb to unprecedented heights, and as a direct consequence, vast populations of fish perish due to the spread of bacteria released by melting polar glaciers. Current projections suggest this catastrophe may persist for many decades, or potentially remain unresolved indefinitely. Several nations are grappling with food insecurity, leading to civil unrest and uprisings, prompting many to fear that humanity is heading toward its ultimate downfall. A decade later, while much of the world struggles with food scarcity triggered by climate disruption, Thailand remains a rare exception, with its citizens still possessing sufficient resources. To ensure equitable food distribution, the Thai government appoints a select group of trusted individuals to deliver supplies to central depots. During one such mission, Singh and his companion are ambushed by a gang of raiders. Despite the danger, Singh, a former Muay Thai champion, steps out of the vehicle to face the threat. Though unarmed and alone, he expertly neutralizes his attackers and emerges unharmed. Drawing on his extensive background in underground combat, Singh deftly evades the improvised weapons his enemies wield. He then calls on his travel partner to help guard the food stock loaded in the back of their truck. Upon arriving at the drop-off point, Singh and his comrade hand over the goods to the merchant. However, one of the packages is found unsealed, prompting the client to withhold part of the agreed payment. Following this ordeal, Singh secures a motorbike and reunites with his wife, who plans to journey back to Changdao. In stark contrast to the hardship endured by most citizens, a privileged few continue to indulge in lavish banquets, complete with gourmet meals and fine wine. At the center of this affluence is Mr. Vasu, widely credited as the mastermind behind the miracle that kept Thailand afloat during the worst food crisis in modern history. Now, Vasu is launching a new venture aimed at transforming Thailand into the global hub of food commerce. As he hosts a grand dinner to raise funding for his ambitious project, his business associate Johnny suddenly experiences a violent seizure and is rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, Singh returns home with his newly acquired motorcycle, where his wife, Rin, confronts him for continuing to engage in such perilous work. After treating a wound on his face, Rin prepares for a shift at the hospital, which she quickly notices is busier than usual. During her rounds, she's accompanied by a young boy with aspirations of becoming a doctor, Buddy, the son of one of Rin's closest friends. Rin takes special care to ensure the boy feels safe and welcome. Later that evening, Rin must leave Buddy briefly to attend an operation. Just as she prepares to begin the surgery, the hospital director arrives unexpectedly and instructs her to follow him, assigning a different surgeon to the case. As the top physician on staff, Rin has been chosen to deliver urgent news to Mr. Vasu regarding his critically ill wife. Back in the operating theater, the patient Run was originally assigned to continues to suffer relentless seizures. The medical team fails to stabilize him, and within minutes, Johnny succumbs to his condition. Suddenly, he springs back to life and assaults a nurse analyzing his blood to determine the cause of death. After killing her, the reanimated corpse, now a zombie, roams the hospital halls, savagely attacking everyone in sight and sparking chaos and panic among the staff and patients. Elsewhere, Singh hears an emergency announcement concerning the hospital where Rin works. Alarmed, he races to the facility, only to find a crowd of anxious relatives and loved ones gathered outside. Watching law enforcement officers being attacked by the infected, tensions rise among the civilians. In an attempt to help, the police engage the creatures but are quickly overwhelmed and bitten. Forced to act, they retaliate with gunfire. Amid the disorder, Singh fights his way into the hospital to locate Run, navigating through the chaos as security personnel struggle to fend off the undead. At that moment, Rin is concealed inside a room with a bitten patient. Unaware that the virus is transmitted through bites, she cautiously leaves the room to investigate the disturbances. When she returns, she narrowly escapes being mauled by the same elderly man who had just pleaded for her assistance. Terrified, Ren flees and hears the chilling screams of victims on the upper floors. Meanwhile, Singh reaches the communication center and uses the intercom to call out to his wife. Ren hears his voice and attempts to respond, but a sudden blackout cuts the power, preventing her from disclosing her location. Realizing that all electronic systems have failed, Singh abandons his original plan and sets out to search for her manually. As he opens a door, he is confronted by a zombie lunging at him. He engages in a brutal hand-to-hand battle, and recognizing that brute force alone is ineffective, uses a telephone cord to entangle and incapacitate the creature, until finally he dies. Moving through the corridor, Singh encounters a swarm of the infected, but employs his Muay Thai prowess to fight through and reach the stairwell. There, he hears the cries of a child and decides to turn back, knowing a child wouldn't survive alone in such a nightmarish place. He spots Buddy cornered by a zombie crawling under hospital beds. Just as the creature is about to grab the boy, Singh intervenes and drags the monster away. Following Buddy's lead, Singh learns that the only way to neutralize the threat is to target the zombies' heads, and he begins smashing their skulls with precision. After defeating the zombie, Singh asks the boy if he knows Dr. Rin. Buddy responds that she is his closest friend, prompting Singh to enlist his help in navigating the hospital. Buddy guides him to his mother's department. Outside the facility, Thai military officers conclude that the outbreak must be contained at all costs. They declare that anyone exiting the hospital is to be executed to prevent the infection from spreading. After evaluating the risk, the commanding officer recommends demolishing the hospital entirely. The government, convinced by the grim assessment, dispatches soldiers to rig the structure with explosives. Meanwhile, Rin reaches the pathology wing and finds the door to the security room locked. She tries to retrieve the key ring from the waist of the security chief, but is suddenly attacked. She narrowly escapes, secures the keys, and barricades herself inside the camera room. As she surveys the footage, it becomes horrifyingly clear that no area within the hospital is truly safe. Elsewhere, Buddy and Singh arrive at his mother's office. There, they spot a notice on the bulletin board revealing that Ruin has a surgery scheduled on the 5th floor. Determined to find her, they head upstairs, but their path is blocked by a massive horde of zombies. Forced to retreat, they seek refuge in a nearby room, where a young man is seen caring for his hospitalized father. As the undead close in on the room, Singh makes a split-second decision to escape through an alternate route, ascending a scaffold alongside Buddy, who is horrified as he witnesses the gruesome sight of an old man and his son being torn apart by the zombies. While they climb, a ghastly figure emerges at the window and grabs the boy's leg, causing Buddy to scream in terror. Reacting swiftly, Singh hurls a sharp tool straight into the zombie's skull, eliminating the threat, then helps the panicked child reach the top. Once safe, the two embrace, overwhelmed with relief after narrowly escaping death. Upon reaching the 2nd floor, Buddy spots his mother and rushes toward her for a hug. But just as he nears her, Singh notices a bite mark on the nurse's body, an ominous sign that she could turn at any moment. The nurse, Mink, informs them that Dr. Run is on the 10th floor and pleads with Singh to look after her son, knowing she cannot go with them. The moment Buddy realizes his mother has been infected, he breaks down in anguish, devastated by the idea of leaving her behind. Despite his tears, Mink insists that Singh is the boy's only hope of surviving this nightmare. As they exit the maternity ward, Buddy breaks free and runs back into his mother's arms, only to find that she has already turned into a zombie. Horrified, he screams, drawing the attention of other nearby infected. Without hesitation, Singh grabs the boy and sprints toward the stairwell, determined to reach the 10th floor. Meanwhile, in the surveillance room, Rin spots Mr. Vasu on one of the cameras and decides to seek refuge in his location. After confirming that Rin hasn't been bitten, Vasu attempts to soothe her panic, assuring her that a rescue team is en route. Once the explosive charges are fully installed, the soldiers receive orders to retrieve Mr. Vasu from the building, risking their lives to do so. As a military helicopter appears in the sky, Buddy rejoices, believing salvation is at hand. However, the grim truth is that the operation is only meant to extract a specific individual. The rescue team has just 30 minutes to complete their mission before the entire facility is obliterated in a massive detonation. With his wife's blood supply running dangerously low, Vasu proposes a deal to Run. If she can obtain more blood for his wife, he will ensure her safe evacuation. Determined, Rin ventures into the corridor, taking care to move silently and avoid attracting attention. Unfortunately, she's caught by Singh as she opens a door with a loud creak, inadvertently alerting the nearby creatures. As the undead surge toward her, Singh creates a diversion, shouting and engaging them in hand-to-hand combat, while Rin tries to seal off the passage. At that moment, the soldiers break into the 10th floor and fight their way to Vasu's hiding place. After securing the businessman and his wife, they prepare to leave, leaving Rin behind. As she's nearly cornered by a zombie, Singh smashes the glass panel and begs Buddy to assist her. The boy rushes in with a fire extinguisher, using it to create a diversion long enough for the doctor to find cover. Rin attempts to crawl to safety, but another noise gives away her position, drawing the zombie back. Just as the creature charges, Singh appears and delivers a flurry of brutal blows to its head until it collapses, and finally, it dies. At last, the couple is together again. However, outside the room, the rescue team is under siege. One of the medics responsible for tending to Vasu's wife gets bitten during the chaos. Fearing for his wife's life, Vasu persuades the soldiers to return for Run, who is the only one capable of treating her. But when they encounter Singh, they mistake him for an infected and open fire. As Singh drops to the ground, Rin rushes to his side, desperately trying to stop the bleeding, but is dragged away before she can help him fully. Singh, summoning his strength, rises and uses his Muay Thai training to fend off the infected. Afterward, realizing the soldiers intend to leave everyone else behind, he is forced to confront them in a brutal fight to protect his wife and the boy. Despite sustaining a shoulder wound, Singh engages in a fierce battle against the armed men. Just as he begins to lose consciousness, a zombie attacks one of the soldiers, forcing him to release Singh and giving the fighter a crucial chance to recover. When Singh comes to, he sees the soldier being devoured, but he is too weak to stand. Run rushes to treat his wounds before he suffers more blood loss. Though racked with pain, Singh remains focused and immediately begins planning a route to get Run and Buddy out of the hospital. Looking at his wife, he tells her that once they're free, they'll go back to live in Changdao. The woman is overwhelmed with emotion, knowing she'll finally return to her homeland. With only 15 minutes remaining until detonation, Buddy cautiously opens the door to scout the path ahead. To his horror, he sees the same soldier who previously battled Singh, now transformed into a zombie. In an effort to eliminate the threat, Singh lures the creature into a storage area and douses it with flammable fluid. With quick thinking, he sets the zombie ablaze, and finally, it dies. But that act triggers the building's fire suppression system, which has a disastrous effect. The scattered zombies throughout the hospital begin to undergo terrifying mutations. Within moments, they morph into more grotesque and horrifying forms, filling the corridors with unearthly screeches. As the trio navigates the hospital in search of an escape route, they come across Mr. Vasu and his wife. Upon closer inspection, Rin notices grotesque veins bulging across his body and suspects she's been infected. Vasu, however, is overcome with joy at seeing his wife conscious and refuses to abandon her. As he approaches her, he's bitten, confirming Ren's fears. Without hesitation, Singh grabs his family and flees. Moments later, the mutated zombies descend upon Mr. Vasu to rip him apart, and finally, he dies. With no more victims nearby, they set their sights on the last 3 survivors. Realizing they're being hunted, Singh chooses to stay behind, drawing the monsters away so Run and Buddy can escape to the rooftop. Once they reach the helipad, they encounter a soldier who demands they turn around for inspection. After confirming neither has been bitten, he urgently asks about the rest of the rescue team, stating he's lost all contact with them. Upon learning they've all been wiped out, he scrambles to start the helicopter and get the civilians out. However, Ren pleads with him to wait another 5 minutes for her husband. As Ren and Buddy safely board the chopper and prepare for departure, Singh finds himself cornered inside a vehicle, doing all he can to lure the creatures away. Completely surrounded, he is left with no obvious means of escape, and time is running out. Yet before he can catch his breath, another wave of the undead appears, forcing him to sprint toward the rooftop. By the time he reaches the terrace, Singh is completely drained. Gasping for air, he leans against the heavy door, holding it shut with all his remaining strength to prevent the zombies from breaking through and swarming the waiting helicopter. With only 3 minutes left before the entire hospital is reduced to rubble, the soldier aboard issues an urgent command to the pilot: initiate liftoff now, or none of them will make out alive. Resolving to face his fate with dignity, he turns to confront the encroaching horde, determined to take down as many of the monsters as he can before the inevitable end. Just as she lets out a breath, the entire rooftop is engulfed in a thunderous explosion. The force of it shakes the aircraft, and in that instant, she realizes Singh has been consumed by the blast. Overwhelmed with grief, Rin clutches Buddy tightly. Weeks pass, though still haunted by the memory of that final moment. Ren begins the process of healing. She relocates to the peaceful town of Changdao with Buddy, trying to rebuild a life from the ashes of tragedy. But what she doesn't know is that fate still has one final surprise in store. It turns out, Singh survives the explosion. Using his instincts and strength, he had taken shelter inside a reinforced metal capsule just moments before the detonation. Zia movie ends with he begins a new journey. And finally, he's hoping to reunite with the woman he swore to protect. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you don't miss the latest recaps. Thanks for watching and wish you good health.